Have you ever noticed that you feel things more deeply than other people? That you overthink, that you notice tiny details in people's behavior, or that you connect with characters in movies, books, like they're real? If so, you might be more emotionally intelligent than you realize. And today, I want to break down what that actually looks like, how to know if it's true, and why it makes your experiences feel different from everyone else. Being emotionally intelligent doesn't mean you're perfect or that you have it all figured out. It just means your brain processes emotions in a certain way. Think about it. When your friend is upset, you notice it without them saying anything. Or when a movie ends, you feel empty or nostalgic for days because you connected with the characters. You might even catch yourself analyzing every interaction you had that day, replaying words, body language, or tone, trying to understand what it all meant. Most people don't notice these things or think about them deeply. And that can feel isolating sometimes, like you're living in a world no one else sees. One big sign of emotional intelligence is that you're aware of other people's feelings. Even if they don't say anything, you pick up on small cues, a sigh, a glance, the way someone fidgets. For emotionally intelligent people, this isn't just a skill, it's instinct. You feel the vibe of the room, sense tension, and sometimes even take on the energy of others. It can be exhausting sometimes, but it also makes you really empathetic, and empathy is one of the strongest markers of emotional intelligence. The second sign is that you think about your own feelings constantly. You analyze your reactions, question why you feel a certain way, and maybe even journal or reflect silently for hours. This isn't overthinking in a bad way, it's processing. You don't just feel sadness, joy, or anxiety, you explore it. You break it down, you try to understand why it happened, what it means, and how it connects to other parts of your life. It can make you feel different than most people because they just move on. But this kind of reflection gives you insight and eventually wisdom. Another big clue is how much you connect with stories, books, or movies. You love fictional characters, not just because of the plot, but because you understand their inner world. You feel their pain, their joy, and sometimes their mistakes hit you harder than real life drama. You see yourself in them, and you understand feelings that maybe nobody else can explain. If you've ever cried over a character or obsessed over what they may be thinking, that's your emotional intelligence in action. You also care deeply about how your actions affect others. You notice the ripple effect of what you say and do, and you constantly try to navigate relationships with awareness. You value deep connections over small talk. You notice when someone isn't okay, and you feel responsibility to help or at least try to understand. And because you feel so much, you might sometimes feel lonely. It's not that you dislike people, it's that most people aren't used to thinking and feeling this way. So, if you recognize yourself in any of this, congratulations. You're probably more emotionally intelligent than you thought. And yes, it can feel overwhelming sometimes, but it's also a gift. You see the world, people, and stories in a deeper, richer way than most. If this made sense to you, or if you relate to any of it, I'd love to hear your experience. Comment below, share a moment when you realized you processed the world differently, or DM me on TikTok. Let's talk about it, because people like us deserve to feel seen.